first time we actually start close to on time and ain't nobody in it. Let people get their alerts or whatever. Oh. What up, Wayne? What up, Doc? Let me go ahead and share this a little bit. Oh, you know what? It has the best thing about the new X or whatever they want to call it is that I guess when you pay for the blue service, you get like a whole hour to edit something.
All right.
So I think I'm right within the edit. Oh, clutch. Update. Tell people come join us. What's going on? You need a spread?
Yeah, y'all doing your podcast?
Yeah. All right. Damn, what am I doing? Oh, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games BS brought to you by. Oh, I need this. Try this again. It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by AlphaNutJacks.com. AlphaNutJacks.com is go to male enhancement clinic, and just a good old doctor, man. It's all right. Internet is wild. But I have questions. I wonder if any of the female listeners are in here yet. Yeah, we got Adrian. That's one. Adrian will stand accountable for all women, which is fair, right? So my question is this: was it OOMF? One of my followers. Yeah, that's the slang. One of my followers, which I want to say congratulations to her. Won't say her name, but congratulations. She's lost a lot of weight, and I'm curious, what is it about weight loss in women that just gets y'all real frisky? Like, I don't mean frisky like in a bad way. I mean like all of a sudden you start. What did Drake say? You start wearing less and going out more. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's not that a lot of times you weren't ugly when you were like you're pretty fat. Like, everybody knows a pretty fat girl or a pretty chunky girl. But then, like, you lose weight, and then all of a sudden you start posting stuff, showing more, and then you wonder why like people act different. And like, so put like one of my homeboys, got a little fresh with me. Like, bitch, your ass is all out. Like, mm. I get if you're an entertainer, like if you're somebody like that, I get it. But like, yo, I don't think people don't know when they're playing. Like, they're playing a fine line. Like very few men can have. I have platonic relationships all the time. I'm not saying no man can do it, but like, you have to also realize that sometimes these men ain't gay that you hanging out with. And if you just throwing it out there and flaunting it and taking pictures and talking about, and then it's always this time of year that really brings it out, which will kind of get us into what we're talking about inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. But like, when did Halloween get hijacked? Like, and what has it always been like this? Because I remember in the South, it's different for y'all up north, Miles. Halloween was invented up north, I believe. Like, y'all had the Salem witches and shit like that. But it was satanic to even think about dressing up for Halloween in the South. People got bashed for this. Now you got women who go to church dressing like witches and demons.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Baptist South, But, it was a lot of stuff. They used to have like trick-or-treating in the mall, like all the stores in the mall would have candy, and it was a safe environment for you to go trick-or-treating. You had your neighborhood stuff that you would go trick-or-treating. Did they have parties? Like, have they always had like I'm not hating on this part. I really enjoy the beverage, the delicious beverage that I got the other day. But I've been thinking about this for quite some time. And the first thing we got is damn, that's from I think that's yesterday's boss.
Oh,
But um some rapper, I forgot his name. I don't know. You might know him, Miles, but he posted about, Halloween and dressing up. And then my boy Hove made a good post on Facebook. But I just want to know what year, if you could type in what year or if you guys have noticed this, like, cause I'm starting to think Halloween is just an opportunity for women to show their ass and titties. And we took it away from like, is anything for the children? Like, what else is going to be taken away from the kids? I mean, I'm all about Team MFTK, but goddamn, it is like literally. Again, we appreciate you, but like, I'm not even seeing women post their kids' Halloween costumes. Like, usually like first day of school, you post your little stupid kid up there with the pictures and shit. Halloween is supposed to have the Spider-Man costumes and all these different things, but like now it's just nothing but sexy ass Spider-Mans. But then it's like, but what am I supposed to do with this? I like the cosplay stuff, like, but like, then you tell me it's like you putting most of y'all probably who listen have never been on a safari or been to a lion farm, right? I have. You know what happens when they throw steak and shit in front of lions? Lions bite them. They bite the steak. They try to eat it. So why would you just walk around and then get mad when dude's trying to look at you? Eric says 2003 is when the like, I mean, when did spirit stores start coming around? You never heard about, that's where people get their Halloween costumes. Yeah, like it's like a whole, like it's like a business. Somebody goes out of business. Who's that? Is that Gibbs? Is that what his name is?
Benny the Butcher.
Okay, same. Maybe they're beefing, maybe. But Benny the Butcher posed this question on social media yesterday. And this is where I kind of got this from. Even though I had a great time trick-or-treating. It's crazy though. My timeline.
Check this out. Tomorrow is Halloween. You understand? Tonight is Beggars Night. What y'all being for Halloween? I want to know. Well, let me say this first. Women, y'all stole Halloween from the kids. Y'all pop out so naked every Halloween. Like, it ain't even the kids no more. It's y'all shit. What y'all being for Halloween, man? If you're looking for a costume, I got you.
But like, I saw somebody dressed up as the Incredible, like Miss Incredible. And then you be like, damn, man.
Yeah,
Miss Incredible got a wagon, bro. You seen Barbies, yeah. And but you know what's crazy is, forgive me, a lot of y'all dress up like Halloween year round. With all the makeup and all the shit, the fake eyelashes, the weave, the implants. Like, let the kids have something. Exactly, Adrian. I mean, like, it's just like, I don't like think like women get fine or were born fine and then expect men to be gay, but then don't want men to be gay when they need men to be men. It's like my grandma used to say, eat the meat, throw away the bones. You ain't gotta, like, you ain't gotta swallow the bone. Like, it's just, just, yeah, this is gonna be some mannish behavior if you dress with like half your ass. I like that. That's not even,
If
it's
it's not for the man, who's it for?
they say it's for them. But I be wondering, like, is that comfortable?
Behind you.
Like, is that comfortable? Like, I mean, I get that free ball, but like, I don't have my, imagine me just walking around like with some shorts with my dick all out and saying, this isn't for you, ladies. This is for me.
Yeah.
Like, really? Is it really? Or is it the vibe or the energy that you get off of other people's energy towards you? But I just want to know, is anything, what holidays are for kids now? Just want to know. I don't know. I thought Halloween was about kids begging, walking around your house. I mean, walking around the neighborhood begging you for candy. But now, adults, we got our, like, they had like a full with the devil, with the angel of death and some gremlins. They had like a full bar. Like they had Corona, wine, wine coolers, scratch off tickets. Like it was crazy. They're the rich. I want to go to that house for Christmas. They're rich, but like I said, if you got any pictures on social media of your kids like actually dressing up, please share it on All Hallows Eve. My kid, well, my killer just doesn't want anything besides Spider-Man. My oldest son, I'm starting to now get worried about YouTube. This motherfucker done found South Park. Don't know how. I didn't. He said, huh? I'm just saying, I be trying to figure out where he finds a lot of this stuff from. Or his friends. Like the South Park got a good run. Like South Park, my mom was not letting me watch South Park when I was his age. Because that's when South Park came out. When I was like 10. And my mom was like, and it was supposed to be for fourth graders. So they're supposed to be in elementary school. And my mom's not like, no, I know for a fact that that's not about that. But Halloween is not just about the women. Some of these men are finding, are they finding their truths? Because, I mean, you got basketball players like Dwight Howard is really making people feel comfortable. DeAndre Jordan says he's dressing up like Taylor Swift for Halloween, but I think he's way too comfortable in that. So, like when we did the Gator Bowl thing yesterday. So for those who don't know, that's not live. We just put as a feature presentation, so it makes it look live. But we somebody came in and one person had on an all red hoodie and some glasses, and then the woman was dressed like a woman. And she said, "Well, do you know who we are?" It took a second, but I was able to get Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They're a couple. She didn't have to dress in football pads and try to make herself look like a transformer. And I'm grateful that one of the guys didn't try to dress like Taylor Swift and the woman. It's just, but operating your truth, baby, operating your truth. And I also want to know, so when did dressing like a whore become the new thing for Halloween? And what year did they start these rumors? And what neighborhoods can we have this? The tweet is, and this lady put a thread of tweets. Her name is Rebecca Howell, and it's always some conservative, some WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, that posts this conservative. With the drug crisis as bad as it is, it's insane to allow kids to take and eat candy from complete strangers. You know how many drug dealers disguise their drugs as candy? Plus, all the candy goes in the same basket, so you have no way of knowing which candy came from where. Even if parents supervise their child walking up to a stranger's door, it's so easy for that person to grab the child. A lot can happen to a child in the time it takes police officers to arrive on the scene. 3, because everyone is in a costume, it is next to impossible to identify who people are. If your child is taken, you have no way to ID the perpetrator other than it was a person in the Batman costume. That's not going to be healthy. Can I ask what neighborhoods are drug dealers giving out candy? Because I want to. I think all capitalistic thoughts go out of the way when white women are scared. Because I want to know where the cocaine, like, what is it, the little dipping sticks? Where are they giving cocaine out for the dipping sticks? Because I want to go to that neighborhood. That neighborhood sounds lit. Like, I was combing through Trey and Kai's candy, and the only thing I found was Twizzlers and Reese's. I was very disappointed. Who's giving the edibles away? And have these people, and this, I know these people are broke, because have you seen how much edibles are? The last thing we doing around here is giving away edibles to children that I don't even like. But like they've been saying, like I remember a couple years ago, my mom sent me something about strawberry quick, and I said, "Mom, we lived in a neighborhood full of drug dealers. They gave us hundreds. They didn't give us. It was cheaper for them to give us money than to give us the drugs. Not necessarily like it's a supply and demand business. It's not a business where they're just going out and let me go create a bunch of new junkies.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever thought about it? Yes. What better way to grow my business than by making a bunch of 5-year-old heroin addicts? How are they going to afford it? The way to get it is to get you, the adult, You gotta think about this. This is what people don't understand marketing. It's weird. But again, if you have that neighborhood and your neighborhood is the one that's giving out drugs, please alert all of us. But the best thing about Halloween is that it's over and it's November 1st. And you know what November 1st institutes? In my mind, I want you to be free. That means Temptations Christmas can be played. Jackson 5's Christmas. I'm going to get my Christmas tree next week, probably. Like the other side of it for my Christian friends. For my Christian friends. Damn, my boys are savages. They're talking about that person they want to see her husband. They hope she brings her husband to the tailgate. They're gonna whoop his ass in front of him, in front of her, to assert dominance. These dudes are weird, funny. But why do people say we need more Jesus and they get mad when you celebrate Jesus' birthday early? Does that not seem counterintuitive? One, I know why. Because we all know that's not when he was born. It's fake. If anything, he'd be born in around Easter. It just sucks because, like, imagine like you just had your birthday and then you die. Like, you didn't even get a chance to really enjoy it. Like, the way he died was like, it wasn't even fun. Like, just. But like Christians, like, man, we need more God and we need more prayer in schools. Don't celebrate Christmas before October. It's like all kinds of threads. No, they're saying no. That's not why they're saying that. But then when they see like a Christmas decoration set up in Lowe's in October, they're like, "This is the problem with America. Celebrate Christmas too early. We don't celebrate our holidays one at a time. You can still celebrate." I learned this from your aunt, by the way. A lot of people have their house and their Christmas trees up for Thanksgiving. Like it's one of the decorations for like, because as soon as Thanksgiving's over, you go right there, go right into why wait till Black Friday? Most of y'all don't want to be around your families anyway. So I don't even know why you act like that. I like it because I like the end of the year. People are singing, people are pretending to be nice to each other so they can get gifts from a fat white man that rides deers and hangs out with midgets. It's the greatest time of year. I love it. It's kind of like I wish it snowed, but then I don't like snow, so I'm cool with it. Like I just want to see it like in the movies, like, but I don't want to have to deal with it. One of the things about growing up in the South, even though I was up north for a time, is that you don't have to deal with the after effects of snow. You don't have to deal with the black ice and the soot and all the other shit that comes with it. No shave November. That's cool. Eric brings up the greatest. Actually, you know what? Those are the same people. Eric puts up everyone that is complaining and worrying about their kids or people taking kids are the exact people who grew up in the 80s and 90s when it was just kids out and about. Like, actually, that was messed up one time. My mom was like, "You're not worried about Trey walking around by himself with his friends?" Bitch, you had me walking around by myself with a key. And then I always tell people, it's not the kids that have changed. It's the adults that have changed. When you talk about how soft this world is, the world is soft because you are raising a bunch of punks. I was so mad yesterday. Trey got lost. And I'm getting my phone blown up. Bitch, you are in the fucking neighborhood. It is the safest place you can be. Keep walking around in the circle till you find a house. And he's got a phone. Do you know what happened when I got lost? I had to remember back to my roots. Like I had to look at moss on the tree. I had to find the North Star. I had to find wasn't no GPS around there. Wasn't no calling my mama. Wasn't no calling my dad. My dad don't even know where the house is. It was just you had to figure it out on your own and use landmarks. And then eventually you'll find a way to get there. The funniest thing about the NFL right now is going into that is trades. Josh McDaniel, not to be confused with Mike McDaniel, our quarterback coach. You know, what was it? We have is it 3 black coaches in the NFL? 3.5? Well, Mike's considered 2.5, I mean 2.15, I mean 2.25. That would be it. 2.25. Tomlin, we don't get to count Salah. Bieniemy's not. But he's got an Indian as a coach, so I guess that's 3 minorities. How many black? I think we got. Well, now we have a new black coach because Josh McDaniels decided for Halloween he wanted to be unemployed. My man got fired on a Tuesday. And for those who don't know, Tuesday is literally the day off in the NFL. He is Craig from Friday. And we'll talk about that. But Josh McDaniels is just a good coordinator. And this is why when people say fail like a white guy, this is what they mean. He continues to get opportunities and he's stuck everywhere he went. For those who don't know, he's the one who gave Jesus' nephew a chance. He's why Tim Tebow got drafted in the first round. This is why you can't put your faith in Tim Tebow. He put all his faith in Tim Tebow and got fired. And then now he's just getting back around to being a head coach. But the Raiders fired head coach Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler. It's the curse of Chucky. Because ever since they fired my guy, it ain't been good. John Gruden, ever since they fired him, it ain't been good for him. It's a new day in Las Vegas. They hired former New York Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce. Raiders general manager is Champ Kelly. Pierce will make his NFL head coaching debut on Sunday versus the Giants in a battle of trash. They got under Josh McDaniels' reign, you had a wide receiver. You had Derek Carr, who was ass. You had a wide receiver leaving. Let's play that right here because I saw somebody. Dove put this up here. The signs were right in front of us. No wonder Josh McDaniels got fired. When the owner can't control his emotions, his umptions about calling the coach an a-hole on national TV, the coach's days are numbered. So apparently,
Josh McDaniels, much to the chagrin of Mark Davis. Lead for Josh McDaniels.
Man, that head nod, that shake, that is when you know they're fed up. That's a billionaire. That's a billionaire disappointed look. Yeah, this motherfucker right here, fucking asshole. Well, at least he gets paid, right? I mean, that's a good thing. But also, what happened was the trade deadline happened. Jaguars got a guard to help shore up that offensive line. Because again, as we told people, the defense is not the problem, even though everybody wanted them to do that. Defense is actually doing well. It's the offense's inability to actually put the ball into the end zone is what's fucking up the Jaguars right now, even though they're 6-2. But a lot of people wanted the Jags to go for Chase Young. We thought before the trade deadline, before the season started, that we would get Magabosa. But Chase Young, Magabosa they basically did the Remember the Titans. So people called Bosa, the 49ers Bosa. They say he had some very race-ish, not racist, race-ish type things that he said. But they're saying that this is the new picture that they're going to be floating around. And Jaguars are going to have to see this week 10 when the 49ers come into town. It's going to be like All in the Family. Where they like with Archie Bunker. It's gonna be like Remember the Titans. Like this might make Bosa a little bit nicer. But this is why I always tell people that the locker room is the most safe space for any and all beliefs. This man has said race-ish, not racist shit his whole life. He's in a locker room full of the 75% black. You know why? The motherfuckers don't care. They just care about winning. That's all. That is all. But nevertheless, that's your NFL stuff. But we're not all the way done. I want to play this. And basically today's show is going to be a show of roasting. So if you're not used to harsh language, if you don't like talking about people, if you're at work and you have HR coming, then it's probably not the best. Oh, we have people in here getting after it with the latchkey kid shit. Oh, it was out there. Pete and Pete, did you ever watch? Was that a show you watched, Miles? Pete and Pete had an episode about how they could trick or treat for longer. And I actually thought it was credible, but then I was like, no, that's no way that could happen. So they went back to time zone so that they can keep trick or treating. And my man was riding his bike, and it was crazy. Like he didn't just go back one because they're in middle America. He went back like all the way to Cali. And I'm like, it doesn't quite work like that on a bicycle. But then I thought about it in my mind, we traveled insane distances on bicycles and feet. Like if my mom knew where I rode my bike to, and the fact that I got back home sometimes is amazing to me. I have no idea how we accomplished that. But Salute Your Shorts is just so great. Camp on Awana, we hold you in our heart. But let's play this guy. And before we start by this, I have a lot of friends who have been locked up before. And I personally believe anytime that you can get yourself up and you're earning a living after jail, it's a good thing. Ooh, I'm going to read the nobody. So let's play this, and then this one right here. And this guy, I hate this because it's so tried and tired. The Jaguars have a very active and flourishing fan base. I know. I've been a part of it in media for like, I think, am I in year 8? Year 9? I don't know. What was I thought 2? No, we're 10 years. So damn. So 2015 is when I started. So whatever that is. And I've learned it. They love it. They're a great fan base. But let's play this. And this is what the national media says. And this is why they get the treatment that they get. And then we'll go into this guy's history after this. Like, what's wild is how he talks.
Yeah.
Like, is he drunk? I wanted, like, before I was like, was he drunk? Well, then why is he on TV? Like, I want to do the Happy Gilmore. I always get them confused. All the Adam Sandler movies kind of just, they got to do something on the Adam Sandler movie universe because they like all kind of go into each other. But that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Nowhere in your incoherent rambling did anything make any sense. We are all dumber for having had listened to this. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. This is the same thing like with the movie to England. One, let's chill. First and foremost, it's the NFL. Very few teams start out 6-2 like that. Like those are the teams that are good. If you're 6-2 in the NFL is really fucking good. Like let's just not poo-poo on that. That's the first thing. Number 2, the Jags started in 96, if I remember correctly. That was the first year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't jump me. I'm pro Jags right now. Please don't jump me. They made it to the conference championship game 2 times in a row. And then they lost. They made the playoffs a lot in the 90s. They were a very good team in the 90s. They made the playoffs numerous times in the early 2000s. Now, since I've moved here, they've stunk. But I know for a fact that it's been more recent than what you think. Because you know why? 2017 was a hell of a year. It's an amazing year. It's one of the best years of my life in sports. Because none of us knew how to act because we were fucking good. We went to the 3rd round of the playoffs, and we were a blown call. Matter of fact, this is how you know you're good. 2 ways you know you're good. If you got haters, and if they have to make rule changes for you. The Miles Jack is not down literally made the NFL say you cannot blow a whistle until the play is done. Like, so Miles Jack was not down. We don't get that. They beat the Patriots to probably get their asses whooped in the Super Bowl. That's not the point. The point is that there are many other worse franchises. Carolina Panthers are worse. This guy's apparently a New York Jets fan. They're worst. The Miami Dolphins haven't won a Super Bowl since the undefeated team. They haven't been back to a Super Bowl since I was born. 1984, I was a bouncing baby boy. Dan Marino. They had one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played. Falcons, they've been to a Super Bowl, a couple Super Bowls, but they've been more bad than they've been good. The Saints were terrible. People had to put the bags over their heads. The Browns ain't been good since Jim Brown, and he's dead. The Bengals haven't been good for quite some time. I'm just saying there's a lot of other, and now people want to knock the city of Jacksonville, and now I get it. I'm 100% with you. When the Super Bowl was here, this is a completely different city than when the Super Bowl was here. It was a really, when I first moved here, I hated it because there wasn't shit to do. Now, I can't say that anymore. I actually love this city. I really do. This city is one of those cities that can go with you. But to go with Charles Walker, my bad, it wasn't Charles Walker. Who was it said that? Where was it? Yo, Eric. How do these clowns get these shows? I have no idea. I had somebody ask me. They were listening to the Sassy Sissy. We'll talk about him in a little bit. How do these guys get these jobs? I don't know. Know the right person? It's like even in the roast, it was so much better things he could have said about the city of Jacksonville that would have been more better. But he says because one, when we got everybody applauded and said it was great things for Calvin Ridley. Some people said Calvin Ridley's career is over, but a lot of people liked it. But this man, I just want to read a little bit. Carden resigned from the program in WL. So he had a show in a big market. That helps. WFAN after his arrest for securities and wire fraud. He was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison, and after serving 12 months, he was released in 2020. I refuse to be judged by a man who had to have soap on a rope. You should be more grateful to have a job. And the only reason you got out is because 2020 probably was a COVID year, and they were getting rid of people in jail who had nonviolent offenses because there was overcrowding, or you needed to do spacing and shit. Bro, you got a whole fucking record. You can't even go around children because you're a felon. Pause for that.
It's not a cool crime either.
Right, it's not even one of the ones they can do your paperwork. What you in for, man? I killed my baby, my baby mama cheating and murdered her. What you in for, man? Somebody stepped on my shoe, had to whoop his ass. What you in for? Trafficking. What you in for? I lied about how much money I stole. Some money. I wrote some bad checks. I had a really good job covering the NFL. He's a diehard Jets fan, according to Duval comes in. Let's read the quote tweets. The quote tweets is where it's at. Love it. Imagine FS1 thinking giving the show to a guy no one knows, because I had no idea who this guy was, by the way. But somehow everyone knows he went to prison for fraud. It was a great idea. Imagine that being the one thing that you're known for. Who is this guy? Let me Google. Oh, this motherfucker went to jail for fraud. You Google me, you see some touchdowns and you see some other stuff. You may find a Reddit where people fuck him. But you're not going to see the first thing that pops up when you Google me is that I went to jail for a soft-ass crime.
Why does he hate Jacksonville so much? Why specifically Jacksonville?
Because he said the Jags aren't elite. And their record indicates they're not. And then Jag fans are tired of being pissed on. We're tired of this narrative of it's just like this. One of my greatest moments that I went viral for in radio is when I told this lying sack of shit that said, right before we made the fucking run to go to the, actually was it 2017? It was one of the greatest years it was after 2017. What's his name? The fat fuck. He's always saying that we're going to London. He works with CBS. But anyways, I got called to do the lunch bunch. And the guy was saying, he said he wrote an article saying that the former coach Tom Coughlin was going to fire Doug and make himself the head coach, which he was the head coach. It makes sense, right? But then when you ask, then when you press him, he said, well, my sources are saying if he feels like it, if the money's right, if he asks his wife, if he does these things. And I'm like, that's a lot of fucking ifs for a solid ass article that you wrote. And I'm like, so you use deductive reasoning to come to this. He's like, what? I said, well, you ain't really said nothing. I said, you haven't said anything definitive. You said if the sun is out, if the money's right, like if he's going to take the job, he's going to take the job. Then he got mad, flustered, and he did this thing. Did something that it's only one person who's ever done this to me in my life. I've actually seen her since. Kendra DeWan Brown did this to me in 04. No, it was 04. Excuse me, 06. She hung up the phone on me, told me to lose a number. No man has ever hung up the phone to me. No man has ever said, lose my number, and hung up the phone in my face. It's crazy. It was very sassy. It was very gay. I was shook. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was talking to a man.
Yeah, like you thought, I don't be calling you like that.
Yeah, I'm like, this one, like,
You could just hang up and that would be the end.
yeah, I'm like, why? Yeah, why don't you just hang up and then I'll call back?
Lose my number. You learned that from your wife.
Lose my number. You get your sources and how about you for it to never come true. Tom Coughlin, you know what happened a few weeks after that? Tom Coughlin was actually fired. It's like national talking, Jason Lockenfoil, Jason Locken fuckboy. That's right. That's what we're calling him. Like, I don't know how these guys got jobs outside of being angry. You know what? Fuck y'all. Y'all are the reason why these people have jobs. Think about what you guys do too. I was talking to my kids, right? So I didn't go to Monday's practice because everybody knows I was getting some precautionary stuff done. I go to practice on Tuesday. I got a couple highly rated recruits, and we're talking to them. One committed to Miami, one committed to Florida State, one committed to Bama. And they're like, man, these guys write these articles about us, and there's no. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean, son? He said, well, coach, they're talking about I'm going to flip to Florida. All that man asked me was, did I have an offer from Florida? And what coach do I like in Florida? And then they wrote a 1,000-word essay. And now I got people calling me, asking me what the hell going on. But y'all be click. Oh, breaking news. Got some information. Man, y'all be giving these soft-ass, sassified, ain't never picked up a ball, can't coach I-9, can't do nothing people the platform that they got. And the real ones don't have the platform because you don't want to listen to them. Because you know you've been listening to the wrong people for your whole life. And now that the truth has hit you, the truth would do two things. It's either going to make you blind or it's going to set you free and you're going to be able to see. And too many of y'all get blinded by it. Breakdown of Wake Forest, a real football breakdown with a real football player. And like it get a couple hundred views in a room full of 4 white guys that ain't never played football before are doing the X's and O's podcast, and y'all give them tens of thousands of views. Do you not understand how ass backward that is? That a guy who went to prison for a year, that we can look at and know he ain't never played no goddamn football, has a platform because he only says shit that's wild. Jason Locken fuckboy, who is the same height as he is width. Yeah. Pete Prisco, who talks a lot of shit. I like Prisco, by the way. Pete Prisco comes up to my hip. And it is a national NFL pundit. Hacker's neck is the size of my head. It looks like it's about to burst. He gets fatter every day. He's not a bad person. He's just bad takes. But like, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a show. I'm just saying he works hard at it. But what I'm saying is how? How do you work hard having a sports show? What do we do? What research do you do? You can hold a conversation by yourself. That is a talent. If you don't believe me, go look in the mirror, try to talk to yourself for an hour. It's hard. I'm just saying, like, y'all give these people platforms and then they say silly shit like this, but I love it. It's crazy. I'm still laughing at this because we didn't get disrespected this much when we were 1-12. That's what's funny. It's from New York, so that explains a lot of stuff. The Jets haven't won. I don't even know when the last time. The Jets haven't been to a playoff game or a championship since the coach who liked feet got fired. Rex Ryan. Was it Rex? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow. So he's a fraud. We got a little more. In addition to defrauding people of money, he defrauds legitimate sports fans. So he was a fraud guy. I had not heard of this knockoff Pete Prisco before he started talking shit about the Jags. He learned about Jags Twitter though. That's the one thing. Jags Twitter, FSU, Big Three Twitter will I think a lot of it because a lot of Jags fans come through Big Three Twitter. And one thing Big Three Twitter does is talk shit. All day, all night, 24/7. It's one of our fun things. It's one of the things that makes us unique. This man literally got fired for fraud. And anyways, whatever. I mean, like literally, he was like just really just got it. Like, he was really touched. Well, a lot of FSU fans are hurt. And we're not hurt. And we shouldn't be hurt. Before you get into it, we're right where we need to be at. Bud Elliott, FSU guy on 3. Is he on 3 or 247? Well, he's 247 national guy. Put out the Vegas final regular season record predictions. Vegas has Georgia and FSU being the only 2 schools that go undefeated in the regular season at 12-0. Has Oregon and Washington both at 11-1. Michigan and Ohio State at 11-1. Alabama at 10-2. Oklahoma 10-2. Penn State 10-2. Texas 10-2. Notre Dame 9-3. LSU 9-3. As he puts, these are not my predictions, just pulling Vegas consensus data. I understand how they are calculated, but that does not necessarily mean I agree. Now, with knowing that information, that there will probably be only 2 undefeated teams, I have no idea why FSU fans are upset about this number 4 ranking that we got with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. We're right where we're at. We already knew that there was going to be bullshit. You've seen the bullshit. The bullshit happened last year. And just deal with it. It's cool. We're in the conversation. Michigan was number 3. Georgia was number 2. Ohio State is number 1. I would love nothing more than to match up with the Ohio State Buckeyes. We whooping that ass. Doesn't matter. Now, here is where FSU fans do have a gripe. Not with our selection. Happy to be in the party. If you remember 2014, they did everything every week to make sure that we were not in there and we were undefeated. Hadn't lost a game in 2 years. But this all thing has a way of playing itself out. The FSU per College Football Selection Committee Chairman Boo Corrigan or Bob, I think it's got to be Bob. When he put Boo, is below UGA and Michigan partially because their marquee win was early in the year. The win over LSU, the win against Duke, and kind of a front-loaded schedule, if you will, they've looked really good. So, like, FSU is being punished for beating an out-of-conference team, and that's it. But I want to do this for us before we get into the negative. Let's look at the positive, right? Look at who's saying it, even though he doesn't have a vote. David Pollack, really good ball player, played against him at Georgia. I think Chris is supposed to have him on sporadics for next week. He put out his college football playoff, his top 4. And we got the video. I just rather let's listen to him. Let's listen to some positivity as a fan base, because I think a lot of y'all are just a little on edge. Just relax. Vibe. No need to be this ornery. Go back. Not this guy. This guy's going to get roasted. This guy. By the way, he needs to be hired again. This is the problem. Y'all put the people who have no credentials. Like this guy, David Pollock, is legit. Like, was really good. Not just at his job, but he was a really good football player too.
First college rankings coming out tonight. The best team in the country to me is Florida State. The most impressive thing I've seen is what they did to LSU, which is a really good football team. 2, I got Georgia. I think they're continuing to grow, compete, get better. 3, Ohio State. Can't deny what they did with Notre Dame, Penn State. Are they a complete team? Do I buy their offense completely? Not yet. Washington, big win against Oregon. Obviously, it was at home. That's a huge win. They should be the number 4 team in the country. Michigan and Oregon would be my next 2 left out. What the committee will do, I think, because they're big on what you've done, they don't really care about who they think the best team is. They'll go Ohio State 1. They'll go FSU 2, Washington 3, Georgia 4, Michigan 5, and I think Oregon will be their 6th team when the first rankings come out tonight. First college rankings.
He was
tonight,
off on that, but I like it. I love I love how
thing I've seen is what they did to LSU.
I love how he's positive. It's very concise. You don't even have to agree with them, but he gives you like points that like, okay, those are solid points. I can argue those, even though what I can't argue is, so we'll get into more of the data. Like Michigan is considered one of the better teams, but like their strength of schedule is like 111. They haven't played anybody. One of the teams that they played, the quarterback threw 3 interceptions, and it was a duck. But why I tell fans don't worry about it is for a very simple reason. Michigan and Ohio State play each other, and Michigan still got to play Penn State. And I really do think that the NCAA is going to probably make some kind of ruling that's going to kind of fuck everything up, because this Michigan shit is wild. They really cheating. But if we want more talking heads, and what bothers me about this now that I'm looking at this is Danny Cannell is just sitting there letting this happen. God damn you, Danny. You do all this great trolling of Dion, and then you don't stop in and tell people they sound stupid. So play the next video, please. It's the FSU Plays tweet. And we got more talking heads. And I'm only playing this because it's absolute utter insanity. Because I have friends, and in our group chat, we have a bunch of debates. Not an attorney. I just know a lot of them. I've been around them. I have a family with them. Some of you people I would never want to go to court with, because you don't know what you talk a lot, don't talk too much, don't know what the fuck you say, and your logic can get you 8 apart. And I want y'all to listen to what came out of this is people with these kind of beards, don't trust them.
Florida State's got a great offense. I still do not trust that defense.
Oh, you've been hating on Florida State all season long.
That's why I like to troll you about a little bit. But
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I know you do.
in all honesty, though, like you have to agree that defense gives up a lot of big plays, and at some point it's going to run into an offense like LSU it did in the first game, where LSU wasn't really firing. But when it runs into a good offense, yeah,
they've been getting better.
Did we hear what it meant? Did anybody hear this?
That wasn't on them. They held them to 13. They've been doing better.
Yeah,
Danny, that's it.
I think Florida State's schedule's better now. I think they have been playing very well against it, though, and that's something that I've always said. It's not Florida State's got a great offense.
Run that back.
I still do not trust that defense.
Oh, you've been hating on Florida State all season long.
That's why I like to troll you about a little bit. But
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I know you do.
in all honesty, though, like you have to agree that defense gives up a lot of big plays, and at some point it's going to run into an offense.
All right, can you slow it down? Because I want people to hear that this man said this with a straight face. Just put like a point with half speed, make it sound too bad. Let's see what it sounds like.
Like LSU it did in the first game, where LSU wasn't really firing. But when it runs into defense gives up a lot of big plays, and at some point it's gonna run into an offense like LSU it did in the first game where LSU wasn't really firing. But when it runs
Like, when you sound like when you at some point they're going to run into an offense like which they've played in the first game, but you just made excuses for them. There's only one. Like, all you guys do is read box scores, man.
I believe that.
Like, and you don't know how to read a box score. There's one game that FSU's defense did not show up to, and they showed up for most of the game. Our offense could not land the death blow to Boston College. But you know what we found out about Boston College since then? Boston College is, and I told everybody, like, yo, that team is better than what we thought. That ain't the team whose ass we whooped the year before. That is a different team. That quarterback could skedaddle. They are one win away from being bowl eligible. And then you know what everybody has used against us since then, and we keep showing them that was an anomaly? Boston College. Well, Boston College is why you should be afraid of Syracuse and Derek Schrader, ass whooping. Well, Boston College is why you should be afraid of Virginia Tech, ass whooping. Well, Boston College is why we should fear Duke, ass whooping. Boston College is why you should fear. Shut the fuck up. We've given up 3 passing touchdowns. 3 all year, 2 months. You know how many passing touchdowns we gave up the month of October? Absolutely none. You will not disrespect Adam Fuller in this house. And Danny Cannell, you should be ashamed of yourself. Absolute fuckboy tendencies right now. You are better than that. Stand up to him like you stood up to Dion. This man doing a college football show with a baseball cap on. Not like the baseball cap, because it's a cap. It doesn't even have a football logo on it. Show some goddamn respect. Like, what the fuck do y'all do? Like, why do you people give these people platforms? This man literally, his fucking argument was that one day FSU's defense is going to run up on a LSU, who is the only defense to stop LSU. And apparently they weren't firing right because it was week 1, but our offense was.
That's the part.
If we would have lost the game and won everything else, would we be okay? It's not our fault Clemson is imploding. Clemson didn't, look at the second half stats outside of Boston College. Actually, look at the last 2 years of the second half stats, what Adam Fuller has done. I'm not mad at the ranking. I'm mad at the bullshit ass excuses. It's much better reasons you can give that we're number 4 instead of this dumb shit. Glasses and beards like this, I'm starting to not trust. I don't understand it. You're wearing the glasses to look smart. You don't. But then we have affirmative action hire. The only people who weren't taken out of the new affirmative action clauses that were passed by the Supreme Court are white women and the people of the consonant community. You cannot use race, but you definitely still have to give people the sex. And I guess it's the creed. Is that what would be? What's being gay considered? Whether sex, nationality, color, or creed, or something. What does creed mean? Look this up. I know it was a band that everybody for some reason hate. Creed definition. Creed is religious beliefs. I guess so. Sexual preference. They can't judge you. Also, RJ Young has a job for this. Let's just play what RJ has to say about he puts his top 10 up. And he has, to his credit, we are number 4. So before we get into any of that stuff, damn, he is skinny fat, which is terrible. I really think is he gay? I'm starting to believe every day, like more and more that he's gay. Like this outfit right here, like he has that, like he's gay Childish Gambino in a Marvel universe. But like, just go ahead and push play. Let's listen what Mr. Taster's word says. Oh, we gotta get it off the slow-mo. I damn sure don't want to hear his ass in slow motion. I wonder what it does sound like. Let's play it first.
I took it off.
And then we'll see what it's
here. I just don't trust Florida State, man. Like, I know they beat up on the Demon Deacons at 41-16, and Jordan Travis had a Heisman winning game. But here's the thing, man. I look at Jordan Travis and I see Desmond
It doesn't sound.
Ridder.
It sounds better slowed down.
That's not shade. That dude took Cincinnati to an undefeated season in the college football playoff.
Like his
Then got housed by
his
Bama.
takes are already kind of like
that's how it feels
spectrum
right now.
So it makes it more
Watch
excusable.
them go down to a Clemson team. They go into Florida State here. I just don't trust Florida State, man. Like, I know they beat up on the Demon Deacons at 41-16, and Jordan Travis had a Heisman winning game. But here's the thing, man. I look at Jordan Travis and I see Desmond Ridder. That's not shade. That dude took Cincinnati to an undefeated season in the college football playoff. Then got housed by Bama. Like, that's how it feels right now. I watched them go down to a Clemson team and need to win in overtime, and that Clemson team ain't no good. Like, they are Notre Dame loss away from being below 500. They're bad. So your best win is an LSU team that we don't trust, right? That got outscored by Ole Miss, had to outscore Missouri. Now, if LSU goes and pantses Alabama, that win looks real good. But if Alabama beats LSU by 2 touchdowns, all you got left is Duke. And you were losing to Duke when they had their best player on the field on one leg. I don't know what to do with this Florida State team because they're not been really challenged by teams that we expect to play in the college football playoff or win conference
Who the
championships,
fuck has?
right? I mean, we're talking about the guys that might be able to play Florida State for the ACC title or Louisville. Because North Carolina.
Oh, I almost used the F word. I won't use the F word. I'm gonna let the cartoon use the F word. But like, who on his poll has been challenged? Like, what's crazy is you have this is where I hate hypocrites. Who the fuck has challenged Michigan? What college football playoff caliber team has Michigan played? Nobody. And you know what, Michigan, none of these teams have had the ability to do what Florida State's done. What fucking college football playoff caliber team has Georgia played? I'm not suggesting that Georgia should not be where they're at. They're 2-time defending national champions. But what I'm saying is, based upon what you're judging, the 4th fucking team, there's only one team in the top 4 that has what you're saying, and that's Ohio State. And Penn State is not a fucking college football playoff caliber team. They're just ranked high right now. And the same credit that you're just talking about Notre Dame beating Clemson, bitch, that's one of Ohio State's credited wins. That's the frustrating part. It's not that Florida State's ranked 4th. The frustrating part is that things that you like to do, RJ Young, is pulling shit out of your ass to make things up that aren't true. And if this is how you truly feel, then Washington should be in the top 4. Because Washington beat Utah. Well, they haven't played Utah, excuse me. Washington beat Oregon, who you have ranked as the 16th. It's like the things that you guys are saying you don't even believe, and you don't consistently hold these things, which means you have no values, which means you have no code. And even the most famous homosexual in TV history, one of the coldest homosexuals in TV history, is Omar from The Wire. And even Omar said, who was a killer, said every man's got to have a code. You aren't a man, RJ. The weird dude with the beard and glasses is not a man. You're not a man because you don't have a code and you're not fucking consistent. And yet you have these platforms where you get on here and you talk this shit in a weird voice. I would encourage all FSU fans. He is more bearable if you listen to his voice at 50%. But I'll leave you with this. If I ever do a cartoon strip, I think this would be my youngest son. I'll just say this is something that Kai would say to RJ Young when he gets more of appropriate age. If you can click on that, Miles. One of my favorite cartoons. I really wish it would come back. I see the Vlad TV why it won't come back. Very breaks my heart that black people don't do business together. But when I woke up this morning and I saw that this was the only thing, the only acceptable response as a fan base that we have to this kind of shenanigans, and sell them this.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck those socks with the bell on it. Fuck your gay ass fairy faggot accent. Fuck. Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them
roll.
shoes. Fuck those socks with the bell.
Let it roll. Let it roll.
On it. Fuck your gay ass fairy faggot accent. Fuck. Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck those socks with the bell on it. Fuck your gay ass fairy faggot accent.
All right.
There goes the red money sign coming up.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get the red. Definitely got to get the red. Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, man. I love Riley.
Yeah, that was a great
You'll hear it on the SoundCloud, people, but this would definitely be taken out of after the show in a couple in a couple hours. This definitely would not be on the show. I really fucking hate that guy. Oh man. Last but not least, I never really heard of this guy. I guess apparently he's an MMA guy, but he seems to be a really, really good guy. And the first time it was randomly on TikTok, I saw him, and he went to this guy's food truck and he ate it. And, you know, he talked about it, raved about it. Literally just puts his camera right in front of him and he talks about the food. And then Black women Twitter, which again, I told people this would happen. The power that they had, they're losing because you got mad at everything. Can't be mad at everything, people. Because if you're mad at everything, they're gonna start just thinking you're filling a stereotype, just an angry Black woman. And they tried to tell him, because he said some comments about how he got his wife. Obviously, it worked for them. But I think like either he didn't want her or some crazy shit happened. People were writing think pieces about it. And I'm like, this motherfucker happily married with 2 kids. Why the fuck do y'all care anymore? Like, get the fuck, you single bitter bitches are over here trying to get on this, trying to make this Black woman mad and she happy. Nothing worse than like people operating your truth. Stop. If your friend is the side chick, let her flourish. If she's happy, I promise you guys, 2024, put a value on your happiness. Don't listen to what other people are saying. They're fucking miserable the way they are. If you find something and it works for you, that is the goal. Let it work for you. I don't ask a lot of questions sometimes. You know why? Because I don't want to intentionally fuck up my happiness. You know why I don't go through women's phones? It's big dicks in there. Dicks you've never seen before. Bro, I promise you. If she's a woman and she has a phone, you know what's in there? It's a dick in there somewhere, bro. It's bigger than yours, and you don't want to fuck up your mind. Doesn't mean she's been with it. It just means she's got a friend, or everybody. We've all watched sex. If you haven't watched, it's 2 shows every man should watch: Sex in the City and Girlfriends. You're gonna learn a lot. Every female group has the hoe friend. If you don't know who the hoe friend in your girl's female group is, guess what? You got the hoe friend. Everyone has the prude. Everyone has, it's the one that's probably a dyke. We don't know yet. And then, then you have the main character. Again, if you don't know which one your girl is, if you can identify the other girls, your girl is the one that you can't identify. Just sorry you got to hear about it from me, but I'm here to help you. Don't give a fuck if you're happy. Stay out of that. Women, if the man is fine, if you think your man is fine, right? Yes. I'm here to tell you, there is a bitch waiting for you to fuck up. You don't want to give him some head. Guess what? That woman who you don't want to give him some head is 3 bitches around the corner that want to give him some head. Sorry, you got to hear about this from me. I thought this is common sense. Also, it ain't a lot of us. I'm not telling you should accept it. I'm not telling you what to accept. But what I'm telling you is, if every man on earth married one woman, there will still be about 1 billion women short. That's not including gay men. That's not including men in prison. That's not including a bunch of other shit. It's it's just they outnumber us. It's how it works. I know what Western society has told you. We did like people thought we were crazy when we put up the chart. Do we need to do the chart again? Do I need to show you, give me your standards and I will show you the percentage chance that you will find love in those standards. Got news for you. Slim and none. Find you somebody who's crazy is acceptable, and that makes you smile. You're not going to smile all the time, but you're going to smile most of the time. And love that lane. There's some really good bar. Like I'm listening to Jay-Z. You heard what Jay-Z said about $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z? You ever heard what he said he would take? Jay-Z, they asked Jay-Z because it was a Twitter question. $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z. Jay-Z said, I'd take the $500,000. He's like, I put all the shit in my songs. He's like, if you listen, he's like, I told you, I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. Our time together is our time together. Our time apart is our time apart. So love Jay with your mind, girl, and not your heart. He said these things for you to be happy. He's been a rich man. I use this. I don't want much fuck. I drove every car. Some nice cooked food, some nice clean draws. Like just again, them bars are there. But anyway, Keith Lee goes around and does shit. They try to break him up with his wife, but he's become more popular now because he's a food critic. And he gives an unapologetic, the most politest food reviews. But if your food sucks, he's like, yo, it sucks. He rates your customer service and your food and then deems if it's just your marketing. And his job is to help you with your marketing. He pays for his own food. He does not want to be treated any differently. Sometimes he sends his wife and his other people in so that because he's the one who gets recognized. He does not he wants you to treat him like a regular everyday customer. So he decided to take a food journey to one of the worst places in America, but also one of the best places in America. It's Black Mecca, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia is the place where you find all of these weird shit. Like the women who don't like Cheesecake Factory, you know where that study was probably done? Atlanta. Because Atlanta's a weird place where it's a accumulation of Black wealth and a lot of stuff that's happened. But like they have brunch started in Atlanta, if you ask me. And there's a lot of rules and a lot of things that they do in Atlanta that are just off the top and extra Black, and it'll make you love your people, but it will also make you hate your people. I went to Atlanta for a week last year for this past spring for spring break. I kid you not, I was so ready to leave. I was blacked out. I'm sorry. I told white people, I was like, yo, I see it. I see exactly what y'all be talking about, white people. You around too many Black people, especially Black restaurants. I frequent a lot of Black restaurants. I got a homie who runs a Black restaurant. My homie ain't never on fucking time. He has great customer service when he gets to serving, but the worst part about it is if Keith Lee came and did something on my partner's place, he'd be like, this motherfucker ain't ever open when he's supposed to be open. Keith Lee went in and like, if there were stupid rules, he would come in and say this. Their rules are that you can't order takeout, you can't do this, you have to go. And I sent my wife in there. She said it was an hour and a half wait. So I go in there, check it out myself. They all of a sudden tell me it's a 10-minute wait. They have my table ready in 10 minutes. I said I'm not hungry anymore because I don't want to be treated any different than anybody else. So I left. That was one of his reviews. He also gave a lot of good reviews on places that were dope. But the places that everybody typically likes, they got the business. And you know what happened when he got the business? People were, I guess, giving them bad Yelp reviews. So now my guy had to leave Atlanta because of death threats over food instead of people looking at the Atlanta culture and being like, here's what's fucked up about our culture. Over waffles, man. Over chicken and waffles, man. Like, so he said he had to leave. And then he said one place was getting death threats because, you know, he said the truth. And he's like, man, it ain't even about that. But one of the things that we do have to really look at, it's not just a black or white thing. It's a black issue because it's spotlighted by Black Twitter, right? That's why it's a black issue. But as a guy who transverses multiple ethnicities and has friends, and I get a chance to do a lot of different cool shit. It's a problem everywhere. You know, got the worst customer service, Chinese food restaurants.
I be getting on my nerves sometimes. I can't even front.
But until I find a black person who can make my sesame chicken the way that they make it, I gotta fuck with them.
That's true.
But like, there's restaurants right now that have their whole shtick is being rude to you, and people love it. There's a thing where it says accept people for who they are, and it makes you and love them accordingly. So like, I know if I go to a Jamaican restaurant and they're not rude to me, the oxtails are gonna suck. Like, I don't go to a Jamaican restaurant for great customer service. I go there for great food. But I also don't go to places where there's weird rules. Like, you can't call ahead. You can't make a reservation. You can't, like, it's this elitist bullshit that's made that city go down. And sometimes I agree. Actually, when I was up, remember I told you when I came back from spring break, I understood that Georgia coach?
I forgot about it.
Dead fucks there. I bet you right now, Keith Lee is like, hey man, coach got a point, man. I forgot the friend's name. That was crazy. Like, he kept calling, but that's like a person I don't want to see. He's like, I'm gonna get Bobo to go string him up on the tree. He's done it before. Moves too fast, man.
That's a big thing I forgot. You talk about him in Atlanta.
In the blackest places. I don't know what happened. Atlanta used to be such a beautiful city, but now the blacks have moved there. I'm like, bitch, it's been blacks in Atlanta. When was the last time you went to Atlanta? But downtown Atlanta is really dark. And 25% of all black people in downtown Atlanta are gay men.
Is that true?
Dude. It shouldn't. It lets you know strength in numbers. One gay dude gets the job at Chick-fil-A, he look out for all his gay partners. Just as tasting their words as they want to. I was like, man, them fries extra season. Imagine going everywhere and RJ Young is there serving you. It'd be crazy because again, so like if you're a black woman in Atlanta and you listening to this show, hey, baby, Lori Standards, you're gonna have to share. Or you're gonna have to go get you one of them RJ Youngs and pretend.
It's just today's day, women have the power to be superficial, but when you say it's a statistic like that,
No.
we still have the power to be
Well, we have the power. What happens is social media is a very powerful construct that makes people believe that it's reality. It's not reality. Like, for example, right now, every FSU fan is afraid that we may not make it to the college football playoff, when the reality is all you have to do is fucking win out.
Right.
Win every game. Again, they're like, well, what bitch? Michigan and Ohio State play each other. They're ranked ahead of you. It literally will work out. I promise you. People were worried about Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma beat Texas. Texas was a fraud. I said, watch Oklahoma lose to somebody. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. Washington should have lost the last 2 weeks. Washington's going to lose to somebody. They'll probably lose to USC this weekend. Everybody was worried about North Carolina and Louisville. Oh, my God, what happened? Again, just think about it. What happens when everybody goes undefeated in the ACC? Louisville loses. North Carolina loses twice. The reality is most of us are normal, let me pump that brakes. Most of us understand that we're not pretty. Most of us are not rich. But on social media, everybody's pretty and everybody's rich.
Even these people, like, you're taking advice from people who don't have healthy, long-lasting relationships.
And they're saying there's a relationship goal. Remember, a couple years ago, matter of fact, J. Cole, one of my favorite rappers, I want the real love. What is it? Uncle Phil and Viv love, that Jada and that Will love. Who the fuck wants that right now?
Yeah.
But there is love in that. It's just not the love that most of us will want. I don't care about the you can't fuck my son's friend, man. Like that, there's just a line we have to cross. Like we can't cross.
That is absolutely just beyond.
Like I don't get that one. Like, okay, you fuck Chris Rock. I understood. Chris Rock, well-do comedian, upper echelon, bomb. But August Alsina? Like, name me 5 August Alsina songs. That's the shit that be bothering me. Is that women love to say men cheat now, but like when you look at who they cheat with, it's like the first person available. Like Tom Brady's wife left, right? Giselle left and was fucking her yoga instructor. Bitch, you are one of the most. You're not gonna find somebody on your level. I get it, but like, come on, dog. Can we like get the best doctor in Tampa or something like that? Like you were with the best quarterback. I digress. My point, Larsa Pippen, fucking a dude who you could have been changing his diaper. Yeah, he say he wants Michael Jordan to be the best man in his wedding.
Somebody needs to sock him. Somebody needs to punch that man in his mouth just for saying that. I hope Scotty just socks him. What a dummy! Like, you guys, why do these got to be your leader? There's more of us than them. Y'all want to be like these weird.
I learned, as I told one person, as I was telling Jack and his family. Mateo Josephine put, man, we all need to get back to God and Jesus Christ. Go knows, put God first and be a good person. You know, I don't really know if you need to do that, but be a good person.
Yeah.
I will say that. And be honest with you, like I think a lot of people have never read the Bible. Jesus was cold ass motherfucker.
Right.
I saw this dude, this Russian gangster, that Jesus was the perfect gangster. He hung out with criminals and prostitutes. He made his own money. He lived by a code and he died by the code. He goes through and he's like, man, Jesus was a gangster. Jesus was walking around saying, I'll feed dogs before I feed your ass. He called a woman to a woman. Like, you know, like, damn, dog, so he called that woman a bitch. If you're translating it right. I think a lot of people, if they were more like Jesus, their life would be more seasoned. Just think about there's a great book, if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, read it too. It's called 12 Ordinary Men. And it reads about the 12 disciples. It's a pseudo biography of each of the 12 disciples. Name me a world where fishermen, carpenters don't drink, don't curse, don't fight, don't do any of these things. That's who he was kicking it with. And everybody calls themselves Christians, and you only try to hang out with people who are faking being good.
None of these men took wealthy jobs.
I'll be honest with you. If you know where Jesus would be right now, if his best friend was a prostitute, his ace chick, Jesus would be at the strip club eating chicken wings, man. I hate to be the one to break that to you guys, but like you did not read. If you've read this book, if you've really read that book a couple of times like I have, you would see these things. And it would change your life. It'll change your perspective. And it will make you not look at superficial things that make somebody good. They're not good because they don't curse. They're not good because you feel like they do everything the right way. They're good because they're just fucking good and they're effective. So he took 12 men who were very imperfect and changed the world. If you believe the allegory. I'm just saying. I'm probably more Christian than most of y'all. And I don't know the last time I've been inside the church on a Sunday. It's football season. That's the real problem. And just again, I'm not knocking anybody. Believe what you're willing to believe. And that's why I sing Christmas songs. In November 1st. That's the biggest haters of Christmas are Christians. But anyways, though, I digress. And if you didn't leave with anything from this show, leave with this. Fuck RJ Young with Magic's dick. I'll see you guys on Friday. Appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. Tell him I said that. If I see him in the streets, fucking them up on. That's the part I gotta cut that Boondock sound. Cause he was just like, fuck you, man. This is America. My president is black, my Lambo is blue. And if I see you in the streets, if I see you again, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you. I just need to get that sound bite for RJ Young. But peace.